Guys, anyway, before I just wanted to add this story. I think this story is quite trending, I'm just gonna read it out loud and give my personal take on it because it doesn't make sense, like, seriously. So it goes like this. I was flirting with this lady through DMs and our husband saw our chats, but he acted cool about it and never confronted any of us. So instead, he befriended me, telling me that I reminded him of his sick younger brother. Well, we used to hang out for drinks for a couple of weekends until he asked me to accompany him to visit his younger brother. I was surprised when he drove to the mental hospital because I didn't know his brother was mentally ill as he didn't tell me full details. As he parked, he told me to wait in the car while he was going to fill out visitation forms at the reception, and all of a sudden, he returned with two security guards pointing at me, crying, and telling them I was his sickly young brother. And the more I tried to explain, is the more I sounded crazy. I was locked up, and for 3 months, I was released weekend for good behavior. Wow. So I came across this story. Right? It was trending, I think, almost a week ago or two. Um, I mean, like, how? Like, what? The question I'm even gonna ask myself. So we have men who can go this extra mile to deal with men who they think or believe or even have evidence that are involved with their wives. I mean, the guy has a lot of time in his hands, like he has a lot of time, almost like he has nothing doing with his life. The husband, in my opinion, personally, because how can you tell me that you have a wife and your wife, you saw through your wife's DM that she's having an affair with someone, and for some reason you feel like your wife doesn't deserve any, and you don't have to reprimand your wife, but rather the guy, and you go through this extra mile, this planning, befriend him, talk with him, lie to him, send him to a mental hospital just to treat them, just to and put him through all this just so that you can get off your wife. But I mean, it doesn't make sense. Whenever I come across such stories or hear this kind of stories, I feel bad to an extent because I feel like why as a man you have to like be this, you have this mindset that your wife is never at fault, but rather the one she's talking with or the one talking with her. She has the right to not talk to him, but she chose to talk to him. So why wouldn't you rather deal with her? Because obviously, if you actually deal with this guy and he chooses to not involve or get involved with your wife again, other guys are out there that she can still engage you. So are you telling me you're going to go around dealing with every man that deals with more like that gets involved with your wife? It doesn't make sense to me, honestly, because it doesn't make sense. Any man who has this type of mindset, or any husband who has this type of mindset towards men who deal with his wives, and then I feel like you're gonna be in a whole lot of pain and suffering. You can even lose your life in the process because it's like you're always gonna target men who deal with your wife, but you feel like your wife is innocent. She has nothing to do with all these things. While she's the one entertaining them, engaging them, probably even bringing up all these issues, and you feel like, and if personally, in my opinion, if someone has to like be dealt with, is your wife. If it's me, I will never even deal with the guy. The guy is has nothing. Like the guy didn't do anything. Because she was the one entertaining the guy to the extent the guy was even engaging her. I'd rather deal with the guy, but not the it's all right. I'd rather deal with my wife, not the guy. But I feel like most men nowadays are so emotional, and being emotional, most men feel like they have to deal with the guy rather than not the wife. It doesn't make sense to me personally. It's wrong. Like personally, it's so wrong. It's something that I'm always against. Men, we have to do better. Like we have to do better. We have to do better because, like in this time and era, as a man, you have to focus on your mental health, your well-being. Like, don't you shouldn't actually entertain any wife who doesn't have that respect to stay faithful to you. There's no way she's talking to this guy against her own will. She likes it. That's why it's happening. Yeah, so this story is just some way. Like I personally, I was very annoyed when I read it because, like, I feel like look at the steps the guy had to go through, the planning he had to go through. I mean, if he can be this, he can plan this match just to deal with a guy, bro. Then I probably can even kill a guy over that same wife of yours who doesn't even value or respect you. Personally, I think she doesn't respect the husband. She doesn't value him. Engaging another man, talking with another man, your husband feels like you are not fault, but the guy is at fault. It doesn't make sense to me. Men, we have to do better. Men, we have to do better. Even if you have a girlfriend and she's entertaining another guys, you don't have any. You don't have to stress yourself, bro. You don't have to do anything, like anything at all, with you dealing with that guy. She's the problem. She respects you. She won't deal with any guy, period. She loves you. She won't deal with any guy, period. But most men want to deal with the guys their women are dealing with. It doesn't make sense to most men lost their lives. Most men are in jail today because of that kind of situation. And the same woman will move on to another man. She will move on to another man because then you may end up getting annoyed and you may attack the guy who you're dealing with your wife and you kill him you go to jail, or the guy you go and engage the guy too is somehow a little more psychotic than you, he'll kill you, you lose your life. In both things, it's a lose-lose for you. The wife wouldn't wait for you no matter how much she loves you. She's gonna move on. So who lost here? So try and like prioritize your well-being. As a man, love yourself to the extent that you wouldn't entertain any woman who doesn't respect or value in your life. Look at the process this man went through. I feel like this man needs some serious deliverance for real. Like someone needs to sit him down and have that bro to bro conversation with him. Bro, you deserve better. This your wife. It's not your wife. She's not your wife. If you have to go through this just to get a single man out of her life, just so that you can keep it, then I feel like you're gonna be suffering. A whole lot of suffering and pain comes your way. It's serious. Serious. Like I felt like addressing this particular story on my channel for real. Anyway, guys, anyone can comment on this. Okay, if you have any experience or anything you want to say, kindly add up to it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you once again for tuning in. Yeah.